before we will get into Rehoboth, each of us has to answer God. The Lord is in our midst to take our answers to heaven. He is here. You see, when I hear the story and I read the story of Isaac that we have read in the book of Genesis chapter 26, we saw how the Lord came to him to help him not to go down to Egypt and to begin to make this heavenly advert. He began to announce to him the inheritance of Abraham. Actually, I saw that was the first time God will speak to Isaac himself about this inheritance. That was the first time. It was an advert. God will not begin to move with you until you answer him. That is his way. He will come first of all to announce to you what he wants to do on the earth. He wants to use someone to bring down this glorious inheritance to the earth. He told Isaac, dwell in this land, and I will be with you and bless you. For to you and your descendants, I give all these lands, and I will perform the oath which I swore to Abraham, your father. Look at that. And he went on and on. He came to announce to him the inheritance of Abraham, if he would open his heart and receive it. The same way he went to Jacob, from generation to generation, God comes to announce this inheritance. And it was because Isaac answered God by obeying him and dwelling where God has located him that he experienced the Rehoboth. God has come to our midst to make this same announcement. Unfortunately, and you see, he made the announcement also for Abraham in Genesis 12. And in Genesis 13, he came to make that announcement of that glorious inheritance. And each of them, both Abraham and Isaac, they obeyed God. You will hear God say in Genesis 12, so Abraham departed as the Lord spoke to him. And in Genesis 13, Abraham dwelt. He dwelt where God located him. That is the way of God. He will not just bring blessings upon you and Rehoboth upon you anyhow. You cannot experience Rehoboth automatically. It's not automatic. You must answer God. And that's the reason for our prayer this morning. It's unfortunate that many other people did not receive that glorious inheritance. They did not fall in line into God's plan. Look at Lot, a man with a great opportunity, a man that God located properly under Abraham, dwelling with Abraham. Actually, he could have been the firstborn son of Abraham because Abraham had no other child. What a great opportunity. But Lot chose to depart to his own Egypt. Lot, the Bible says in Genesis 13, from verse 5, Lot also, who went with Abraham, had flocks and herds and tents. Now the land was not able to support them that they might dwell together, for their possessions were so great that they could not dwell together. And there was strife between the herdsmen of Abraham's livestock and the herdsmen of Lot's livestock. The Canaanites and the Perizzites then dwelt in the land. So Abraham said to Lot, please, let there be no strife between me and you, between you and me, and between my herdsmen and your herdsmen, for we are brethren. It's not the whole land before you. Please separate from me. If you take the left, then I will go to the right. Or if you go to the right, then I will go to the left. And Lot lifted his eyes and saw all the plain of Jordan, and it was well watered everywhere before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, like the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt, as you go towards Zoar. Then Lot chose for himself all the plain of Jordan, and Lot journeyed east, and they separated from each other. And Abraham dwelt in the land of Canaan. Can you see the kind of thing that happened to Lot? Lot missed his lot. He would have been the first partaker of that inheritance, but he left. And what touched me was what made him to leave. And you need to examine your heart and cry to God today so that you will not also miss it. For the same reason, the Bible says in verse 5, Lot also, who went with Abraham, had flocks and herds and tents. And so he was not able to dwell with Abraham. My friend, what is the herd? What is the flock? It may be your flock, your church flock, your congregational flock. The flock and the herds and the tents may be even your job. It may be your profession. It may be a geographical thing, location. If anything at all that will not allow you to dwell in this inheritance, that thing is taking you to Sodom and Gomorrah, a land of destruction. That thing is taking you outside God's will. You are going to call on God this morning. You see, the inheritance God would have given Lot, it was supposed to be, a dash. It wasn't even his own originally. He didn't labor for it. It was Abraham that God called. But he could have been a beneficiary of it. But because he had his own thing, he had his own flock, he had his own tent, he decided to part ways and leave the land of promise. You are going to call on God, Lord, whatever is that heart, whatever is that flock, whatever is that tent that is taking me away, that will not let me dwell in the land of promise, Father, take it away from me.